Hello everyone. The object of this video is to learn about a well-known Cauchy-Squartz inequality. It is very useful in proving many unknowns inequalities which appears in many mathematical situations of pure and applied mathematics. And now here we will restrict a vector space over the field of real number or a field of complex number. In fact, we define inner product when a vector space is defined over the field of complex numbers, but we may define inner product over the field of a real number as well. So in the coming slides we will see how inner product is defined and how we define norm using an inner product, and we will see the Cauchy-Squartz inequality plays an important role in proving triangle inequality. So inner product space, first of all we define inner product. Let V be a vector space over a field F, as I have already told you that F is either a field of real number or a field of complex number. Okay, so we are considering a vector space over the field of complex number here in general. In mapping we are using this parenthesis for this mapping, and first element will be here and second element will be here of a vector space V. So this is a mapping from V cross V to a field of scalar is called an inner product if the following axioms hold. First axiom states that the inner product of a vector with itself always a non-negative quantity. This property is known as positive definiteness. And in case of when inner product of V with V is 0, then the vector will be 0, and conversely. And the second property is that when we are taking two elements U and V, then obviously there will be an inner product of these two vectors as an element of F. So UV is inner product, then we can define VU also. Now relation in UV and VU is not symmetrical relation, it has a conjugate symmetry. When you define UV using VU, inner product of VU, then you have to take conjugate of this, then you will get this UV. Inner product of U with V is conjugate of inner product of V with U. This property is known as conjugate symmetry, and this property is quite useful. This is the first component. This is obviously element of V because U and V are element of V, and V is a vector space over the field F. So alpha U plus beta V belongs to V, and W is also an element of V. So how we will compute such expression? So we will compute such expression in this form. If you have first component, first argument alpha U plus beta V, then the inner product with W will be defined in a linear combination of alpha and beta, where alpha has inner product of u with w, and beta has a inner product v with w in this linear combination. So this property is quite useful in proving many problems related to inner product. So a vector space v together with an inner product is known as inner product space. Now for any integer n greater than equal to 1, we know that Fn is n dimensional vector space over the field F, and elements of Fn are n tuples of the type. So it is n dimensional vector space, and if we consider F as a field of complex number, then V is called unitary vector space, and in case of field is real number, V is called Euclidean vector space. So most of our study remains focused on this two spaces, unitary space, sometimes it is called Hermitian vector space, and this Euclidean vector space. So this is example of unitary inner product space. Obviously you have two elements here, then inner product of these two elements is there and can be defined in the following form: u1 v1 conjugate. Here ui's and vi's are complex number, so we can take conjugate of these also. So we define inner product of u with v in the following sense: u1 multiplied with v conjugate of v1, u2 multiplied with conjugate of v2, and so on, un multiplied with conjugate of vn. Obviously when we will use field of real number instead of field of complex number, and in that case vi's becomes real number. That's why the inner product will be u1 v1, u2 v2, un vn in a normal sense of dot product of two vectors. Okay. Some useful properties of inner product: V is a vector space and zero element belongs to V. Then product of inner product of 0 with any element of vector space will be 0. And if there is a vector u which has inner product 0 with all the vector of V, then this vector can be only 0. So u will be 0 if u has inner product 0 with every vector of V. Now this is property in which we are dealing with inner product of a multiple of u, scalar multiple of u with V. So if it is in first component alpha u v, then by this property, third property, you can take here beta is 0 here, and you can take 0 here. Alpha u v, w can be replaced by v, then it will be alpha u v plus 0. So using this property we can write alpha u v, inner product of alpha u with v, alpha u plus 0 comma v, and this can be written as by the property of inner product alpha uv plus 0 uv, and we have already done 0 uv is 0, so finally we will get element alpha uv. So if there is a scalar multiple in first argument, then it can be taken outside easily. But in case of scalar multiple in second argument, then in that case we know that by this property we can write u v u alpha v can be written as alpha vu. Okay, so applying this condition, now we are applying this condition. Now alpha can be taken outside here, but because we are dealing with complex number, and now it is a product of two complex number and with conjugate of, so the conjugate can be applied in both the complex numbers separately, and in that case there will be alpha bar vu bar, and then vu bar can be written as uv. So using that property we can prove this. So these are simple result which are quite useful. Now this is also an extension of this result. Alpha u beta v can be written as alpha because if we take scalar outside from inner product from first argument, then scalar will be as it is, and in case it will be from second argument, then it will takes conjugate. Okay, alpha beta bar means beta conjugate uv. So in particular when beta is alpha, then here will be alpha alpha bar, and alpha alpha bar is conjugate modulus of that complex number. So alpha u can be written as modulus of alpha and its square into inner product of u with u, and this is conjugate linearity of in the second argument. We can note that if we are dealing with the field of real number, then these things can be obtained easily. So in throughout the discussion we assume that we are dealing with the field of complex number. So therefore this property is useful. Conjugate linearity in the second argument. Okay. Now you can see here first argument is u and second is alpha v plus beta w. We can write in this way, alpha v plus beta w u taking its conjugate. Okay, and now we can open it using that property of first argument property, linearity in the first argument, and applying conjugate property we finally get this. So it tells if we are dealing with second argument and scalar is a linear combination, then scalar can be taken outside, but there will be conjugate sign. Okay, so student can understand all these properties in sense of complex number. When two vectors are said to be orthogonal if inner product is 0. This orthogonality is very important concept in inner product. Norm of a vector, V is a vector space, and if there is an inner product is defined on it, then it is quite easy to define a norm, because when inner product is defined, then inner product of u with u is equal u with u conjugate, and this implies that this complex number u comma u is equal to its conjugate. So this complex number is a real number, and this is non-negative as per definition of inner product. So it is a non-negative real number, so we can take square root of it, and square root of it is the norm. So norm is a mapping from V to R, field of real number. So we can check that the norm satisfy these properties. This is interesting property. Now this can be seen. Norm of alpha v. Actually, in case to compute this, we have to go this point. Okay, this norm of, this is by definition norm of alpha u. This is norm of alpha u can be written as inner product of alpha u, and that can be taken as this, and this is norm of u, and taking square root of non-negative quantity we get this equality. Okay, this is very much true. Norm is non-negative quantity, as if norm is 0, then v will be 0 by definition of inner product. And this is triangle inequality that will be shown after proving Cauchy squared inequality. So a vector space we equipped with a norm is called norm linear space. Note that every inner product space is a norm linear space, but the converse is not true, means that a norm can be defined unless until their inner product doesn't exist. Okay, so we can show the example to determining the length or norm of a vector, and this is also useful inequality which is used to show the continuity of norm. We will not discuss norm in detail. We just define norm here in order to introduce in Cauchy squared inequality. So this is the main result of this lecture. So for any vectors uv belongs to v where an inner product is defined, then inner product is a complex number, then modulus of this complex number, obviously it is a real number, so modulus of this complex number cannot exceed the product of their norm, means norm of u into norm of v. This is Cauchy squared inequality. So if either u is 0, then inner product is 0 and this will be also 0, then the equality hold here, and in case v is 0, then same result is there. So we can assume that at least u or v is non-zero here. So without loss of generality, we can assume that u is non-zero. One may assume that v is non-zero, but defining may be vary according to this. So when we are considering u is non-zero, so for any scalar lambda u minus v is an element of v, this is an element of v, this is an element of v, so inner product of this element with itself will be non-negative. Okay, so it is true for every lambda. Now we will compute this inner product for every lambda, and we will see that a given lambda, there is a lambda that have this. After substituting that lambda, we will have this inequality. So if you compute this, it is not a big task to compute. You can use the first argument and second argument, then lambda u, then there will be lambda u. You can find that from this lambda u, this is lambda square and norm of u square. So you can see here, and this is v. Okay, so norm of v square, so minus you have twice minus sign here, so norm of v square, and when lambda u with v, so it is first component lambda, so lambda uv, and when we take v with lambda u, then there will be lambda bar. So this one can easily find this. Okay, so this equality is valid for every lambda. So lambda, if we take lambda in such a way, then we will get this inequality after taking the square root. I hope one can find easily after substituting this lambda in this expression and taking this inequality. Okay, here greater than equal 0 if we take this. Now you see here this if lambda is taken in such a way, we have this inequality. So the this inequality becomes equality if this inner product is 0. This inner product is 0 means that lambda u minus v is 0, and lambda u minus v is 0 means v is a multiple of lambda, u is a multiple, v is a multiple of u by some lambda. So u and v are linearly dependent. So the equality holds for dependent vectors. Inequality holds for dependent vector. When u and v are dependent, then we will get equality, otherwise we will have inequality here. Now, as we promised we will prove triangle inequality after this Cauchy squares inequality. So you need to compute this square, and this is u plus v, and you can write it norm of u square plus norm of v square, and uv plus vu. If it is a complex number, then it is its conjugate. So sum of complex number z plus z bar is twice of real part of this complex number, and this real part is always less than modulus of that complex number, and this modulus of the complex number is less than by this norm of u into norm of v. So if we replace this equality by this is a less than equal sign, then we can use here twice of norm of u norm of v, and the right side will get perfect square with this inequality, and taking square root both side we will get this result. Okay, so this book is quite useful. On page 200 you can find